At Canisius College, the school has a well-established rowing program comprised of 25 members on this year's roster to go along with a very experienced coaching staff. If you ask any woman on this team about personal goals, they have none. The sport of rowing is so team-oriented that teammates unite under the same cause, a unanimous push to win.
I think both of them, I would just have to say, is being MAC champions. It's just looking all the way ahead until our last race in the spring, and we just do everything we can from all year round technically. A lot of us row in the summer, just working hard, just trying to get to that point where we can be MAC champions this year.
What does that take? How do rowers come together as either 4 or 8 individuals meshing as one unit?
We build our chemistry I believe, through the workouts we do. No one has it easy, not even the coxswain who's not pulling. Everyone has a really difficult job and has a role to play. And we all know we're in pain. We all know we're struggling, so we go through it together. No one takes a stroke off, so we all feel the same.
It's rowing together a lot. We do a lot of steady state, so we'll just row for 2 hours as far as we can. We'll get all the way down to the windmills, which are in Hamburg and back, which is just 20,000 meters, so it's just 2 hours. Just that one morning of just trying to groove in with everybody at the same time. So do that over and over again, and you really start to get the hang of it with rowing together.
Every fall season gives the team this chance to practice together over and over with a hope they get it all figured out in time for their true tests in the spring. However, the fall still brings 4 meets to the table, the first against the University at Buffalo and DUville College.
In the fall, we race what's called a head race because the winner is called the head of the river, right? So we would be the head of the Tonawanda. And that means we race in single file. It's a time trial. The start can be variable. It all depends on the start marshal, anywhere from 10 seconds. Today, I think our shortest start was about 5 seconds apart and the longest almost 40 seconds. So they start with gaps. You don't know what those gaps are while you're racing, and you're just racing the clock down the course. And it's a direct opposite to our sprint racing where you know immediately if you've won or not. Here you have a pretty good idea how you did, but you don't know the results till the coach reads them to you. So it's great for the learning portion of our season and the development portion because we can talk about the process before we talk about the results. We can break down the race before they know if they've won.
Our first regatta, I think it turned out great. I mean, our first boats, we got first and second, and our other boats did really well. So I think it was really good. Personally, I had a few things that I'm struggling with, as with everyone on the team. I just had to remind myself that to keep the push off the front and hold on long, and I know everyone's there to back me up when I'm doing that.
One of our goals from the UB race was for our first and our second boat to beat UB's first boat, and we ended up reaching that goal. So that was a big positive. It was something we were working towards, and that was our first race. So after that, we can work on everything that we need to. We know what happened during the race. We can keep grooving it in until our next race this weekend. So it was really our first race, so it set us up for the next races.
With the first meet going so well, what does the team do now to continue improving? What muscles do they look to build? What techniques are so important for rowers to keep fine-tuning? What technology does a coaching staff take advantage of to figure this all out?
So we're able to track heart rate in real time, keep our athletes in the right zone. We're also able to measure their performance to a level where we can see a drop-off. And there'll be a number of times where we'll see a student athlete not performing at her ability, and we'll bring that athlete aside and we'll talk with her about what's going on outside of practice that might be affecting her performance, or we'll look and see whether or not that training load is too much for her. So as coaches, we're obviously very attentive during practice. We've got a pretty good assessment at the end of the practice, but we're also human and we're looking out for safety and the management of the practice. So there are always going to be details we're going to miss. And the great thing about having data on every single stroke you take is that when you go back at the end of the day to look back on it, you may see some trends that you missed. There may be some points that are maybe not visible on a daily basis, but over the course of months we see a difference in a rower's development.
So if I'm talking to the average person and I say rowing, they're usually like, wow, you must have really strong arms. I'm like, actually, each stroke is like a big leg press. So our seat moves up a slide, we press with our legs, swing, then follow through with our arms. So it's actually more of a leg sport than an arm sport.
Take a look at the Griff's Varsity 8. On the outside, it seems pretty simple, but don't judge a book by its cover. The inside is built with a very complex design for the rowers to get the most out of every stroke, while the oars provide strain gauges and smart pods that track and record each rower's performance. Seats on rollers provides that ability to use extra muscles necessary for stronger strokes. Everything is adjustable from how the oars can be set for each rower to how the equipped footwear can be tightened. In the end, it still comes down to everyone staying motivated towards a want to get better.
When it comes to springtime, we're in race preparation mode, we're fine-tuning. So this is our chance to take that long-term approach to development. The great thing about our team is that they get better every day. We talk about if you're not getting better inside the practice, your boat's going to fall behind. It's not just go out and do your best every day, it's get better every day. And it's just a terrific environment to be part of.
We're all really competitive, so we don't really have a problem with motivation because we're always looking forward to the next race or the race at hand. We just try to get as much sleep as we can, get our homework done early, and just not waste time so that we can get to bed early. And waking up at 5, you really get used to it, and it's nice out here. You can watch the sun come up. We don't really have that much problem with motivation, I guess, because we're so competitive within each practice and within each race that we go to.